President and CEO of the Tiger Athletic Foundation, Matt Borman, has spearheaded the development and establishment of a new innovative method of raising funds for athletics at LSU, providing a way for fans to financially support new NIL opportunities for student athletes. TAF has partnered with the NIL collective Bayou Traditions to consolidate and increase the efficiency of the donation process to NIL for season ticket holders, and as Borman says, get the masses involved. This process has begun in earnest, as within the first 48 hours of it being in place, TAF received over 200 gifts amounting to over $100,000. To get more in depth, after the break, we'll be hearing from Borman himself as he sits down with Jeff Palermo to discuss this new process, the agreement with Bayou Traditions, and what this means for fans eager to donate to LSU sports. I'm your host, Jake McMains, and we'll be back right after this.
July is jumping at your East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Lots of books are being read as part of their summer reading program. Adults are finding the way of nature through Tai Chi classes, while little ones gear up for back to school with enrichment programs like Big Buds and Carver Cubs. And for teens, how about Twinkie Wars, Bubble Science, or Percy Jackson Trivia? Go online at ebrpl.com to learn more. That's ebrpl.com.
Y'all ready? Yeah. Let's go. Come on.
Tiger Rag Radio is on the air.
Let's crank this thing up.
We're statewide, breaking down the latest happenings with LSU athletics.
This is us.
Hear from the coaches.
Put together a defense that puts us in a position to win the SEC.
The players.
Having fun and we working, baby. That's it, man.
The recruits.
Show some passion and some heart.
And those who cover the Fighting Tigers of LSU and the SEC.
All those things are going to be there, which are important.
It's 2 hours of nonstop LSU talk.
What a privilege. I mean, you get to represent LSU.
Tiger Rag Radio is brought to you by Cummins. Cummins creates power solutions that the world depends on. Helm Paint and Decorating. The paint experts of Louisiana. Louisiana Beef Industry Council. Max Home. And the East Baton Rouge Parish Library. Get ready to talk Tigers with producer Jackson Blackman and our hosts, Todd Horn and Jeff Palermo.
Three great players that are better people than they are players.
This is Tiger Rag Radio.
Joining us now on Tiger Rag Radio, it's the president and CEO of the Tiger Athletic Foundation, Matt Borman, who joins us on the Max Home hotline. It's a pleasure having you on the airways with us, Matt. How you doing today?
Doing great, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's great to have you on. Earlier this month, the Tiger Athletic Foundation announced a new innovative way of helping to try and a revolutionizing way to raise money not only for obviously a lot of the capital projects that Tiger Athletic Foundation is involved in, but also empowering LSU student athletes with enhanced NIL opportunities. Correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but one of the challenges maybe that you were finding was that, hey, for so many years, LSU fans, LSU supporters were giving to TAF, and then all of a sudden, a few years ago when the NIL world began, all of a sudden Bayou Traditions and other groups were asking for money for NIL. Does this kind of put it all underneath one roof, Matt, where there's now an agreement between TAF and Bayou Traditions?
Yes, sir. That's a great way to describe it. So historically, TAF has been raising money for capital projects, scholarships, ways that we could help the athletic department in the past. And so recently, as you described, new era in college athletics comes along. We need to help fundraise through the collective for NIL opportunities and in that space. So past few years, Bayou Traditions was created. Carlos Spate is its founder, did an unbelievable job of kind of bridging the gap the past couple of years to make sure we were able to stay competitive in that space. But at the end of the day, we were hearing donors that were talking about when we were asking them if they would give to that entity. We were hearing that, the history of TAF and the relationships they have were a key reason they were giving to TAF, and then also points for the ability to get to secure tickets. And so in this past July 11th, we were able to initiate an agreement with Bayou Traditions where we use that history and the relationships we have. We have the ability to give priority points, And even though we stay an independent organization and they stay their own independent organization, we're able to reach an agreement where we provide fundraising services for Bayou Traditions. So by the book, we created a subsidiary called TAF Service Corporation to perform those fundraising services for Bayou Traditions. And then those services are going to include planning, strategy, the implementation of all fundraising campaigns, social media and marketing, customer support and service, gift processing, stewardship, events, and database management.
If you wanted to give money to TAF but wanted some of that money to go towards an NIL initiative and then also still receive priority points, is that possible to do under this agreement?
It's 100% possible. And so basically, with the agreement we've set up, when you give a gift to the collective, you'll be treated the exact same way with the exact same benefits and stewardship opportunities if you were to give that gift to TAF. The one difference is there is no tax deduction, but points and other benefits that are provided by TAF you would see consistently.
And obviously the hope here is to enhance the collective, correct?
We want, even though the collective, as I said a little bit ago, is an independent organization, we talk from talking to our coaches and administrators at LSU, we know how important that is to them. And so, yes, we want to make sure we're able to facilitate those donations to go where the biggest need is. And that biggest need right now is NIL. And just a little bit of background there, I talked about the way that the collective has been able, Bayou Traditions has been able to contribute and bridge a gap for us the past couple of years to keep us competitive in the NIL space. A lot of those dollars were coming in from some of our bigger donors. And a focus we want with this, with the agreement with TAF, is to use our database, the thousands, tens of thousands of season ticket holders that we have and the relationships that we have with this university and TAF fundraising organization, reach out and try to get the masses involved, because we've got to keep up with our peers. We've got to get as many people as possible on board to supporting this NIL initiative at whatever level they feel comfortable at, whether that's $100 or thousands of dollars. There's power in numbers here.
So this new campaign, I guess if you want to call it that, or a new partnership, started back on July 11th. What has been the initial, I guess, as far as LSU fans giving to it, or what's been the reception among LSU fans? Are you seeing a lot of LSU fans taking advantage of this?
It's been great. We had over 200 gifts in the first 48 hours for over $100,000. And so, like I said there, that's where you get the numbers, and that the number of gifts there really helps the dollar value and helps support this initiative.
Talking with Tiger Athletic Foundation President Matt Borman. Matt, going back, the Tiger Athletic Foundation and its original mission, if you would, and as we talked about, was helping to raise money to improve a lot of the practice facilities and so forth and capital projects. What are some of the things on the table right now that Tiger Athletic Foundation is looking to try to fund, to try to complete as far as different renovations?
So, project we're really proud of right now is the training room in the football operations center. And so that's a $25 million project that we began raising money for really well before NIL was a thing. And so we've continued to raise money through the last couple of years when we have been, trying to get money over and support Bayou Traditions, but also make sure we maintain first-class facilities here for athletic programs. So that football ops building will open this month. It's going to just really focus on the recovery of the student athlete. It's a buzzword right now in college athletics, and we've got to make sure that we have the facilities and the technology available for our student athletes to not only recover from injuries, but recover from the wear and tear on a day-to-day basis and make sure they're ready to practice, play, and then ultimately be successful in the rest of their life.
No, there's upgrades as well at Alec Box Stadium. How much is Tiger Athletic Foundation involved in that?
So the upgrades at Alex Box right now you're going to see the bullpens moved under the bleachers in right field. And so where the previous home bullpen was, you'll see some new seating down there. TAF was very involved in helping get that set up, fund that, but also make sure in those new seats that we use our priority point system to make sure that those donors that have supported TAF, LSU, and specifically LSU baseball are in those new seats.
And those new seats are going to be really nice, aren't they?
Well, they're going to have some of the best views you could possibly have being right there on the field. They're not going to have some of the amenities that we have in some of our other premium seating just because you can't really protect people from the sun right there without obstructing the view of the season ticket holders behind them. But we'll do the best we can to make it a first-class experience. The sell really is going to be that view of being field side.
Right. And I know I'd be amiss if I didn't ask you, so much talk about a new basketball arena. That is still you're still waiting to hear, right? And I don't even know how much this is really in your ballpark, Matt, but you're still waiting to hear from potential developers as far as what they would propose as far as a public-private partnership to LSU?
That's accurate. We're kind of in a holding pattern right now, seeing what those proposals look like, and hopefully we have some news to share in the near future.
Well, that sounds good. And then Tiger Stadium with the new video boards, how awesome is it going to be this year for the 100th year?
Man, I tell you what, just looking, there was a tweet that went out today from LSU football, and even though I've been in meetings and seen and heard about it for months, just seeing that it's going to be twice as big, and then they kind of had a graphic that compared it to what the old video board looked like. That's one of the Tiger Stadium's the best in the country, but if we were lacking in one area, it was the video board and the technology there. So you put that new video board in, you put the new sound system in, and you put some new lights in, that atmosphere is going to be tough to beat.
Can't wait. Hey, Matt, thanks a lot for chatting with us. I really appreciate it. Keep up the good work, and we'll have to touch base here down the road. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Have a great summer.
Well, that'll be it for today's episode. I'd like to thank Matt and Jeff for the discussion. We'll be back next week, but until then, stay tuned to TigerRag.com for all your latest LSU sports news.